Three, two, one.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're almost at the final week now, and welcome to today's Ask Me Anything session. This is the last Ask Me Anything session that we have, and then we have the final week in which we'll conclude the boot camp. And so, in this week, I just wanted to start by quickly walking you through everything that we have done so far, and then we can dive into the questions that we have for today. So let me start by sharing my screen. Mhm. Okay, great. Um, yeah. Yeah. So this is an overview of everything that we've covered in the bootcamp. We started with learning digital skills, then using those digital skills to build a product, refining the product, creating a business model around it, figuring out a marketing strategy, setting up an online store, figuring out the finances, the nitty-gritties of actually running an online store. And now we're in week 8, which is to actually launch your business and get it out to the customers, get it out into the market. And then in the final week, which we're heading to now, you learn how to pitch it and how to actually talk about your business to both customers as well as potential investors, collaborators, partners, whoever it is that you're interested in working with. And obviously, all the sessions that we've done on YouTube in each of these weeks will be accessible to you even after the bootcamp ends. And we'd love to see you actually continue tinkering and thinking about digital ventures, entrepreneurship, and just innovation even post the bootcamp. The bootcamp was designed just to get you started and thinking on these lines. I think there's a lot more to do and explore in the weeks, months, and years to come. Um, so, with that, I just wanted to get onto something that a lot of people have been asking us, which is recognition for the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp. Who gets the certificates? What are we really looking for? What will you be evaluated on? So I think the single most important thing is consistency, which is to say that you have submitted assignments for each of the week that we've had in the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp. As an entrepreneur, the ability to constantly work at the problem that you're trying to solve and go back at it day after day is the most important. And in the boot camp, we are evaluating consistency just through the assignments that you have been submitting for the boot camp. In case you haven't submitted an assignment for a week, or there's something that you missed out or were confused about, you can still do it. So till the time that the bootcamp is ongoing, you will have time to submit assignments even for the previous weeks. So if that's something you've missed, this is your last chance to actually go back and submit your assignments to at the end be recognized for your participation in the bootcamp. Once we have the consistency and by extension the dedication for the bootcamp established, the next thing we'll be looking at is actually um, the idea for your digital venture itself. Um, what is it that you made? Who is it that you made it for? And what are you trying to really get out of the digital venture that you have created? And the way we'll primarily be looking at it is through the pitch you submit in week 9. Week 9 that way becomes extremely critical because if you go back to the weeks we've had in marketing, you'll realize um, after operations and execution, the communication and storytelling and narrative around your digital venture is the second most important thing. And that is essentially what we'll be evaluating through the pitch that you submit next week. The pitch would be a video recording along with a deck walking us through the 9 weeks of your bootcamp. And based off of this, we will be identifying top projects. I will go into detail about the top projects, but this is just a quick overview or like a roadmap of how we'll be thinking about recognition and prizes. First is that students must submit one assignment every week. Second, we'll be looking at the pitch you submit in week 9. Third, mentors will be reviewing the assignments and pitches that you have submitted. But here, I'd just like to add, for students who have had mentors who might be inactive or might have technical issues in reviewing your assignments, you don't need to worry at all. Once you have submitted your assignment, um, someone will be there to evaluate it. If it's not your mentor, someone from the ATL Innovation Mission team will do it. So you just need to focus on your assignment. Please don't worry about it getting reviewed, but I've just added as a step so that mentors who are watching can take a note that they would need to evaluate the assignments. Um, Next, based on steps 1, 2, and 3, we'll be identifying top ventures, like I mentioned. And basically, all ATL in charges, students, and mentors who have participated would obviously get a certificate for participating, but the top ones will have additional prizes in store for them. And this is essentially that list. So for the top 20 student teams from all over India, you'll obviously get a special certificate for it. You will get further support for incubation and mentorship to take your digital venture even further. Like I said, with the bootcamp, our idea was just to spark that initial curiosity and interest in entrepreneurship and digital ventures. We do want to see you take it forward, and we do want to see you engage with it in a more constructive way in the coming months and years. And third, students who are in the top 20 the top 20 student teams also get an opportunity to interact with our mission director, Dr. Chintan, and actually showcase your work at a national level. Even before students have had similar opportunities, and for Tinkerpreneur, we're very, very excited to extend this to the top student teams of this specific bootcamp. Similarly, for the top mentors that we identify nationally, you'll get access. We have, awards and recognitions for you at both ends. One is just for your personal development and growth, wherein which you will get access to special fellowships that will help you enhance your skill, knowledge, and network, and so that you can also grow at a personal and professional level. And second is on the recognition side of things, wherein you will be recognized in the Gems of Mentor India handbook that we launch every year, and will from in addition to that, that top 10 student in each state will also be recognized, and they will get a certification that would state that they have been in the top 10 student teams for their respective region. And like I said, all student teams who participate will get certificates. Student teams, teachers, mentors, all of them will get certificates to talk and speak about their work. Um, with that, I would like to get on to the questions that we have for today, and answer those for you. So just give me a second. Okay. So the first question I see is, so this is basically a specifically is that as a student launches their digital, they want to know if pay by cash is an option that they can include. My answer to that is yes, you may, although we will recommend that you look at online methods of transaction, considering they are much more easier, reliable, and have less hassle. But if you think pay by cash is something you'd like to do, you're free to go ahead and do that. The next question I have is from another student as well, that they had to prepare for their board exams for the past 2-3 weeks and have not been able to submit the assignments for Tinkerpreneur so far. Can I still do it? Yes, absolutely. Like I mentioned at the start, you may absolutely continue submitting your assignments for Tinkerpreneur. Rather, I would strongly urge you to take the 1 week we have left to really give Tinkerpreneur all your time and energy so that you're able to get the benefits that we have planned for you towards the end. So, absolutely. Still submit your assignments, and we really look forward to going through them once we have it with us. The next question I see is on social media marketing. What if I don't have a social media channel? What should I do in such a situation? Here, I think the answer is quite simple. What you should do is that use other forms. I think in one of the marketing sessions, Arjun and Trisha had mentioned that WhatsApp becomes a great place for marketing. Emails become a great place for marketing. So use some of these platforms which don't require you to have social media accounts, but can instead use other platforms that are easily available and accessible to US students. So email and WhatsApp are quick and easy places to start with. And you can look at more, you can look at Telegram, normal text messages. There are multiple such options, and you should pick what you prefer. So those were all the questions I received via the form. If there are still any more questions, please put them in the chat on YouTube and I'll be happy to answer them. If your assignment has not been approved, that is completely all right. You should not worry at all. We will be speaking to all the mentors who are there and helping them understand how they should be approaching the assignments. That said, that if your mentor does not end up reviewing it, someone from the ATL Innovation Mission team will take it up and your assignment will definitely be reviewed. So you should just focus on submitting your assignments and rest will be taken care of. I see a question specifically, which is, creating a virtual, like having trouble creating a virtual tool and adding products. I think you should try to, if since it's already towards the end of the boot camp, you should focus on making the simplest and the easiest product that you can if you already haven't made it. It doesn't need to be elaborate, it doesn't need to be fancy, just something that you think your potential customer will find useful, and you should do that. On refining the product, there's a brilliant session that is done by Mr. Bhanu Kota, where he walks you through specific activities and steps you can take to refine your product. I would strongly recommend you go through that and then approach refining your product with that. In terms of selections, just go back and rewatch this video. I walk you through in detail about how we'll be selecting the top projects and student teams. I think you should go through that, and that will be very, very helpful for you. Mm, So those are all the questions I see so far. I'll wait for another minute and then we can conclude today's session. I think now that we're at the end of the week, the only thing that's left is to actually just take action. I know there might not be too many questions for today, but I just wanted to have a quick check-in and share a little bit of update on how we'll be approaching evaluations at the end and what's coming your way very, very soon. So since there are no more questions for now, I would like to conclude today's session. I would also like to thank all of you for your constant participation and engagement with the bootcamp. It's been extremely heartening for the entire ATL Innovation Mission team to see the way all of you have learned through the program, grown, and developed new skills and areas of interest. We look forward to hosting such programs again and really helping you develop your inner creators and innovators. So with that, I'd like to thank you and conclude today's session. I will see you again in the next session in the coming weeks. Thank you.